I'm Mamadou Gajaga, and this is QTV News coming to you live from our studios along Caraba Avenue. Thank you for joining us. First, here are the main local and international news headlines. The Trade Ministry, in partnership with the export promotion agency GAIPER, have laid the foundation stone for the construction of a $48 million vegetable cold store and processing center in Jinoy in the Lower River region. Gambia participates, a youth-led civil society organization focused on public sector transparency and accountability, brought together various stakeholders to discuss a survey conducted in 120 countries, including the Gambia, on how governments handle and disburse COVID-19 relief packages. In international news, today is the World Humanitarian Day, designated in memory of the 19th August 2003 bomb attack on the Canal Hotel in Baghdad, Iraq, killing 22 people, including the chief humanitarian in Iraq, Sergio Vieira de Mello. Those were the main news headlines, and now the news in detail. Welcome and thank you for joining us. This is QTV News. First, following reports and images on social media about flooding at the Banjul International Airport, QTV went there to find out the story behind the rumors. We spoke to the Aviation Authority's public relations officer and told the airport to get an update on all the work at the airport. We will bring you more in a special story in tomorrow's news bulletin, so do stay tuned and wait for that story. The Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment, in partnership with the Gambia Investment Export Promotion Agency, GAIPER, have laid the foundation stone to commence the construction of a $48 million vegetable cold store and processing center in Jinoy, Jara, the Lower River region.
Due to lack of storage facilities in rural Gambia, many vegetables growers find it difficult to profit from their produce. For some, this is about to change. On Thursday, the Trade Minister, Sidi Keita, laid the foundation stone of the construction of a state-of-the-art vegetable cold store and processing center in Jara, Jinoy. At the launching ceremony, Kausu Sanyang of the Belgium Development Agency, Annabelle, explained how the project will empower the youth and women in the area.
This platform will provide a marketing, packaging, and processing facility for agricultural goods coming from various regions of the Gambia, from Senegal, from as far as Guinea-Bissau. It will supply local weekly markets, provision the hospitality industry on the coast and upper river, and provide a launching platform for the export trade to Senegal and beyond. It will be constructed using the cash for work labor of local youths and returnees, and will provide decent, sustainable jobs for local area residents and farmers.
Corrado Pampeloni, the EU ambassador to the Gambia, explains the significance of the project and the contribution it could make in reducing irregular migration by Gambians.
The purpose of the TechIFI program is to provide opportunities for young Gambians to find decent employment in the Gambia in this framework. The EU has provided Annabelle with €7 million to improve agriculture infrastructure in the Gambia as a way of creating sustainable jobs in the rural sector. The construction works will create jobs notably through cash for work schemes, in addition to creating jobs in transportation, processing, and marketing. The Genoa Agri-Food Platform will be an important infrastructure on the road to modernizing the Gambia's agricultural marketing system and to meeting the country's potential for self-sufficient agricultural production.
Hussein Senghor, CEO of GAIPER, said Jinoy has been chosen for this project because of its location on the Trans-Gambia route.
The location of the project on the Trans-Gambia Highway makes it a very ideal spot because it will be supporting regional trade, it will be supporting employment, and it will be supporting entrepreneurship. So this project has three pillars on which it stands. And we hope and we look forward to each of these pillars realizing the objective set.
The Minister of Trade, Industry and Regional Integration and Employment explained the role the project will play in promoting regional integration in the region.
This vegetable platform will help on the following targets: to build a stronger, more responsible and robust, resilient economy. It will promote regional export trade. It will reduce post-harvest losses. It will provide storage and packaging facilities. It will provide also an environmentally friendly waste processing facility. Stalls will be provided to women and youth upon completion that will be able to carry out wholesale and retail trading in fruit and vegetable, and both processed fruits and vegetable as well.
The 48 million vegetable cold store and processing center will promote trade, employment and regional integration when completed for vegetable growers, especially women and youth. Reporting for QTV News, I am Alassane Ba.
Gambia participates in collaboration with the International Budget Partnership, IBP, on Wednesday held a day-long forum on the 2021 Open Budget Survey COVID-19 module introduced by the IBP. The event brought together stakeholders and other civil society organizations at the Metsi Residence Hotel to discuss the way forward. Yahya Jao attended the event and he now reports.
Gambia Participates is a youth-led civil society organization focused on enhancing transparency and accountability in the public sector. The survey, which was conducted in 120 countries including the Gambia, centered on how the Gambian government handled and disbursed COVID-19 relief packages to tackle the ongoing COVID-19 crisis in the country. Fantasane, the program assistant of Gambia Participates, says budget disbursement is key in the governance structure of any country, describing it as the powerhouse of any functional government. She explains why it is important to monitor how government spends state resources.
During budgets is really important, and that cannot be overemphasized. People pay taxes, and of course these taxes are supposed to benefit people. Whatever profits that is being made from the revenues collected should go back to the people. She also highlighted the significance of the Open Budget Survey COVID-19 module introduced by the IB. That was been done by the International Budget Partnership, and Gambia Participates actually highlights the weaknesses in terms of spending, government expenditure. They have spent money, and during the COVID-19 we've seen so many relief packages that came to the Gambia. We've had international donors give funds to the Gambia to tackle the COVID-19 problems. We've also seen a virement from government of 500,000 and 700,000 respectively, also geared towards tackling the COVID-19 pandemic. But you understand that all of these funds that were spent, they will give you a lump sum of how much money has come in and who has received it on behalf of the Gambian population. But then again, we do not know how these monies were being spent.
I spoke to Buba Jata, the policy officer at the Gambia Public Procurement Authority, and asked him about the social media comments usually made by the public regarding GPPA's public procurement methods.
People throw a lot of questions, a lot of speculations in the social media regarding GPPA or procurements, in the country, especially with the COVID-19. And then as far as GPPA is concerned, any procurement that is submitted to GPPA in connection to the COVID-19, of course, we make a due diligence in it to make sure that the procurements are scrutinized, all the documentations are met in line with the acts and regulations.
The first Deputy Auditor General at the National Audit Office, Parmajan Daw, says the National Audit Office is established to audit and report on all government accounts, including those of the National Assembly. He explains the role played by his office in ensuring transparency and accountability in the allocation and distribution of state resources, and emphasized the level of funds earmarked as relief packages to combat COVID-19 in the Gambia.
Writing 3 reports on these 4 subjects. Why? Because procurement and distribution of medical items is coordinated by one ministry, one institution, which is the Ministry of Health. But when it comes to food items, the procurement is coordinated by the Ministry of Trade, and whereas the distribution is coordinated by National Disaster Management Agency.
Launched earlier this year, Gambia Participates believe that the data on the 2021 Open Budget Survey will help government, the National Assembly, civil society organizations, business partners, audit institutions and the media obtain relevant information on COVID-19 in the Gambia. Reporting for QTV News, I am Yahya Jao.
From that report by Yahya Jao, we will now go for a short commercial break, and when we return, we will have some more local and international news stories for you. Do stay tuned.
Step into the future of television with sleek and slim design Samsung Smart TVs, ranging in size from 32 to 75 inches and in different technology. Smart LED, Crystal UHD, Ultra High Definition, and QLED Quantum Dot LED. Get new ways of interacting with your TV as our TVs offer an unparalleled vision adventure from the comfort of your living room. Ultra Viewing Angle, powerful picture quality, web browser, gallery, EarthNet LAN, wireless LAN built-in, Bluetooth, screen mirroring technology, mobile on TV mirroring, built-in voice assistance, Wi-Fi direct. Not only that, our TVs are backed with 12 months warranty, and we are currently on a promotion. Contact us on 333-3217.
The best product in town is back. QCell's MiFi router. Get the best MiFi in the country for just $2,800 and connect up to 15 users with 4G internet speeds and a long-lasting battery life. So rush now to any of our customer care locations and get the best for less while stocks last. For more info, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Boss, the Gambia's quality network. We innovate, others follow.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. If you're just joining us, this is QTV News. 6 mother clubs across the country on Thursday concluded 4 days training in marketing strategies to better manage themselves and gain confidence to compete in the wider market with their produce. Alassane Ba, our regional correspondent in Soma, filed in this report.
This training marks the 8th capacity building forum for 6 mother clubs and their apex body, the Sosolasu, on how to produce, package and find markets to sell their produce in the Gambia. Manfred Bojang, United Purpose Biofortified Project Manager, explains how the project is going to empower the mother clubs.
This event for the next 4 days is trying to explore with them how to better manage but also market their produce, especially biofortified crops that they are producing in their communities. These are biofortified crops that we have introduced in the communities with them, and they are producing them in big numbers. But the marketing for these is something that we want to explore in terms of strategies on how to reach but also access bigger but reliable markets for these crops, and in addition to their normal horticultural products.
Jimbi Sise, the president of the Marketing Corporation of the Gambia, explains how the project will benefit both the trainees.
They trained us on how to market our produce and how it should be priced. Also, how to prepare our produce and remove rotten or spoiled items. We are also trained on handling and packaging. We would like to trade and weigh our produce and sell them by kilo to make more profit.
Rosie Bishop, co-director of Kapla Horizons, a UK company that conducted the training, said it is important for the marketing corporations to learn new ways of marketing strategies.
The model we have been using over the past 4 days has been around the 4 Ps of marketing. These are product, price, place, and promotion. So we've really tried to focus on how the women and the federations can exploit these 4 areas more. So thinking about how they can use the market information system from United Purpose to think about the price, how they can be stronger at bargaining and negotiations to get the best price possible, whether that's through the middlemen or going directly to the customers, whether it's processors or hotels or the household cooks, and being really strong on getting a good price. The other one is the product, so having a quality product, good organic, nutritious vegetables that they can sell at a good price, so that the hotels don't try and import from Senegal.
Rosie Bishop further explained how important it is using social media to reach out to more potential buyers.
How they can get the word out, whether through social media like WhatsApp, Facebook, whether they can have better advertising in terms of flyers, signs, so people understand what their product is and then want to buy it.
After the 4 days training, the 6 marketing federations across the regions are expected to use the knowledge and skills gained to market their products and get a good price to make profit. Reporting for QTV News, I am Alasanba.
Now, in the latest of our stories assessing conditions in our markets within the Kanifing municipality and Greater Banjul area, QTV's Lolly M. Camera visited a Bakau market on Monday, and here is our report.
Unlike many markets we have visited recently, Bakau market is clean and well organized, with vendors displaying their products on high cement tables built inside the market. At the time of this visit, we saw no street vendors, no stagnant water or irresponsibly disposed of waste, which instead was well kept in a bin waiting to be collected. People I spoke to spoke of how the market has been since it was reconstructed. Yusuf Ajiba, the public relations officer of the Bakau Market Committee and a businessman, said he is impressed with the condition of the market and had more to say on this subject.
Alhamdulillah,
we really thank God because our market is clean. Since after the reconstruction last year, it is clean with no water holes, no waste scattered irresponsibly inside the market. Our toilets are well kept, a solar system is provided for us inside the market. All this is possible thanks to the market manager and the KMC leadership.
Yusuf Ajiba also said, while he is happy with the level of progress, there is still room for improvement, as he shared some of the constraints they face.
After the reconstruction of the market, there are some individuals who still don't have their shops returned to them, and we need more security guards here. Currently, we have only 2 people responsible for the security of the whole market. The authorities should also give preference to Gambians to occupy shops inside the market to reduce the rate of unemployment in the country.
Sire Barrow, a vendor at the Bakau market, said sales are very low and she ends up with her products remaining unsold for many days and sometimes end up getting spoiled. Things are very dry for us here. Business is very slow. Items are expensive. Usman Dumbuya, who sells meat at this market, explains that the business is hard and explains conditions in the market.
The
market is very clean. Even the number of customers coming here proves that, because some people come from afar to shop here just because of its cleanness, which makes us different from other markets.
Markets play an important role in people's daily lives, as some earn a living there daily, but others visit the market to buy a variety of goods. So, keeping all markets in a good condition will help boost both the economy of the country and its development. For QTV News, Lolly M. Camara.
From that story, coming up next is international news. Welcome, and in international news, 19th August is World Humanitarian Day, designated by the UN in 2009 in memory of the 19th August 2003 bomb attack on the Canal Hotel in Baghdad, Iraq, killing 22 people, including the UN's chief humanitarian in Iraq. This year's theme focuses on the climate crisis, the single biggest health threat facing humanity, according to the UN. Mamudum Boj has more on this story.
The need for humanitarian interventions around the world is perhaps as great today as it has ever been. We need only to look at what's happening in Afghanistan, what has been happening in the Tigray region of Ethiopia, in the Central African Republic, One recent newspaper headline reads, "Record numbers of Central Africans are in humanitarian distress." And closer to home, as recently as July, windstorms hit more than 100 communities across the country, killing 10 people and displacing hundreds. This year's theme, according to the UN, highlights the immediate human cost of the climate crisis by pressuring world leaders to take meaningful climate action for the world's most vulnerable people. Experts predict that if the right action is not taken, there will be more than 140 million climate migrants moving within their countries by 2050. More than half of those people are expected to be in sub-Saharan Africa. But more immediately, the COVID-19 pandemic has increased the number of people in need of humanitarian assistance, making an already difficult situation substantially worse, requiring immense humanitarian relief to contain the cost. World Humanitarian Day celebrates the heroic resistance and achievements of those in the humanitarian vocations, be it the nurses, doctors and health workers generally, who, especially during the pandemic, risk their safety to provide succor to the distressed, or other humanitarians who provide life-saving aid when conflict, war and natural disasters strike. Unfortunately, in trying to save lives, even in conflict zones, many of them in recent decades have been losing theirs across the world. According to one study, in 2020, there were 276 major attacks across 40 countries. 108 frontline workers were killed, 242 wounded, and 125 kidnapped. Humanitarian aid across the world is becoming more difficult and dangerous to deliver. And it doesn't end there. Experts point to the increasing professionalization of international humanitarian work, which, through risk assessments, special equipment, security protocols and training, has transferred the risk of humanitarian work to the locals. Expatriates are kept back and the local staff pushed forward. Between 80% and 90% of those killed or injured are locals. They are less well protected, paid and insured, and their families are compensated less generously. And many governments have been known to weaponize aid, using it as a bargaining chip in political negotiations. Humanitarian work requires trust between the aid providers and the recipients. The extent to which trust is undermined is the extent to which relief work would be ineffective. When we maintain trust in humanitarian work, we give honor to aid workers who make the ultimate sacrifice in the service of humanity. For QTV News, I am Mamadou Mbouch.
Before we end this bulletin of the news, here is a recap of our main news headlines. Following reports and images on social media about flooding at Banjul International Airport, QTV went there to find out the story behind the rumors, and we will bring you a special report in our tomorrow's news bulletin. The Trade Ministry, in partnership with the Export Promotion Agency, GIPER, have laid the foundation stone for the construction of a $48 million vegetable cold store and processing center in Genoa in the Lower River region. Gambia Participates, a youth-led civil society organization focused on public sector transparency and accountability, brought together various stakeholders to discuss a survey conducted in 120 countries, including the Gambia, on how governments handled and disposed COVID-19 relief packages. In international news, today is the World Humanitarian Day, designated in memory of the 19th August 2003 bomb attack on the Canal Hotel in Baghdad, Iraq, killing 22 people, including the chief humanitarian in Iraq, Sergio Vieira de Mello. That's it for the news, but thank you for joining us, and we will bring you another edition in our 10 o'clock bulletin.